Hey guys, we're back. And as you can see, we are moments away from security access within FJDS. So, this is Ford's JBox application for module flashing, but it also has PATS access. So you see it just counted down to 600 seconds, 10 minutes in, test is now complete. Just press the tick mark. Security access granted, press the tick mark. We've got the newly cut, unprogrammed key in there. We got a jump box on so we don't lose voltage. Program additional key. Hey Keith. Click the check mark. Turn the ignition on, place it in there. So we pressed OK. Operation was successful. Check mark. Do you wish to program another key? We're going to press no. Return to PATS menu. Sure, why not? Doesn't matter anyways, we're fixing to lose security access once we cycle this key off here. Put it in, cycle it on. Oh, failure. It did not work. Oh, never mind, I was wrong. It took a sweet second. And there's nothing wrong with the radio, it just looks like that in the camera, by the way. But yeah, so we're all done. That's the new key, just cutting, and then we'll, probably good practice to go ahead and make sure the original key. This is just the second key for the lot to put in case I gotta repo it. Success, starts also. We're all good to go. Keith, you're posting stuff and I can't read. Oh, bricked it. There we go. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's a cut and then, or copy, key duplication. That's what this was. But then it's not a clone. It's a, a unique key. So, Keith says, what scan tool was used? We used Ford FJDS. Well, and we lost the key. Great, now I get to dig it out from underneath the seat. We're using Ford FJDS, the newest version, 112.05. Since we have access, it's not a bad thing to just use it. There are lots of aftermarket tools. Launch seems to have a problem doing Fords a lot. Let's see. Unlock. Let's go dig out this key underneath the seat. You guys can follow me along. Launch have a problem doing some Ford keys, so I usually just use the Autel if I have to use an aftermarket key. Look at that right there. We found her. All right. The X431 has done good for me in this era of Fords. Some early Fords, it has problems. If you use the X431, you don't have to wait 10 minutes. You don't have to wait like 5.5 or 6. And Keith says the launch diag gun being used today here. And I would have used the launch diag gun. Except, I just didn't think it would, didn't want to mess with it really. I already have FJDS out. I was programming a Ford right before this. So it's up and running in there. And I had other stuff to do anyways. I went and checked out a Toyota Sequoia while we were doing this. While this was getting ready for security access, but I had to run back over here because I only had like 8 minutes so I could catch it, show you guys the end of it. But Keith says he would have used Ford as well. Yeah, when you have FJDS already up and running, you don't have to wait 6.5 to 10 minutes to find out that it's going to have a problem. It's just frustrating when a tool doesn't work. So, and you guys have seen me use the diag gun to do a Ford. I've done Fords with them. It's not bad. But it's a good tool. I mean, when you have Ford up, when you have the OE tools, sometimes it's hard to use the aftermarket stuff. For Ford, if I have to use an aftermarket and I don't want to use FJDS or something, I'll usually just grab the Autel. It seems to work more reliably for Ford. But launch does work as well. And that's like the only thing I can say about the launch versus Autel. I'm starting to convert. Keith's going to be happy. I'm pretty happy with my launch. I use it probably more often than I use the Autel. I for sure use the launch more often than I use the Autel. Matter of fact, I haven't used the Autel in a long time. It's actually probably been sitting in the same spot for about 2 or 3 months, just chilling. But still a great tool. There are things like it will, I take that back. I did break it out the other day. I had to do a steering angle sensor reset on a Hyundai, a late model Hyundai. It was like a 16. And the launch did not have the option. And then the Autel did. Now I have since updated the launch a couple times. So I'll have to try it again. Launch has been really good because I've been sending messages, sending them to my distributor and to Auto. New level auto and you 20 cars a day trying to catch up. It's hard, Eddie. Keith's probably doing about 20 cars a day. I do anywhere from 6 to heavy days, 15, 16. I don't know if I've quite done... I've done 20. I take that back. I've been at this lot here and been given 11 and 12 keys before and then had a full day after that. So it just depends what I'm doing. If I'm doing a lot of module flashing or diag module flashing, not so much. But Neil asked if I ever looked into the AutoSys IM600. That's the RO. And Neil, I was kind of cryptic with that message I sent you back. I didn't want to go on a goose chase, but I will talk about it real quick. I am very familiar with the RO. I mean, it's an Autel Elite. The IM600 is got all the Autel Elite software in it because it's an Autel is their parent company. But it also has their EEPROM and a lot more key functions than what that has. I'm currently not looking at buying an RO just because I have an Autel. I don't have an Elite. I have an old 908, and it's not even a P. So, but between all the OE software I pay for and the launch and the Autel and all the other tools, I don't have a reason to spend the money on that. It's really difficult for me to justify that. I don't get very many calls to do that. No one asked, hey Keith, can I use launch? Oh, I can't see it now. He said if he can use launch Diagun on a Nissan to replace a PCM. To do a new PCM, no. If it's blank, absolutely not. If you're using a used PCM and it's correct, then you should be able to. You should be able to change the VIN number. I believe there's like an inhale, exhale software, like the read information, write information listed on the launch. I've never used that for Nissan. But anyways, if you get a used one, you can change the VIN number and then do the keys, and you should be all right, as long as it's the correct PCM with the correct level of software. Does Launch bypass a lot of having to get PIN codes? Launch has bypassed Nissan for me on PIN codes. I think that's all it's bypassed. Because Keith, what else have you run into that it does bypass on? I've only got it to bypass Nissan, and only some Nissans, not all. 13, the beginning year of when I started adding in 20-digit stuff, seems to be an issue. It does bypass, you know what? It does a really good job on like 14, 15, 16s on putting them into programming mode, so you can just add a key on the proximity type, so that's good. Awesome job, Neil. Yeah, it's a good tool. I mean, I like my Autel tool. I'm sure the IM600 is great, but having an Autel in a launch, it's really difficult for me to justify. Really difficult for me to justify buying an RO. That's right, Honda. Yeah, Honda will let you add a key without having a PIN number. You're typing. Yeah, that's how. This is definitely different, Keith. This is normally different where I get on your video and ask you questions. Anyways, guys, on to the next one. Maybe I'll film the Toyota thing. Unfortunately, on the Toyota, they were trying to fix some rear AC stuff, and he was cutting in the back and hit an AC line on this Toyota. One of their techs did. So this poor guy's over there fretting over that. But we're going to check out this 4x4 light. And then, that's right, Keith, I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm leaving here. Depends how much work. I got to do the brakes on my van before I take off. So, would love to see a video on replace that PCM. Nolan, which PCM? I've done a video on almost every make and model so far. If you search my channel and type in, I've done a Nissan software update. I've done a Nissan TCM, blank TCM install. I've done a Honda, a Toyota, a Ford, a Chevrolet, a Dodge, done a lot of GM stuff, done a lot of like replacement and updates. On Ford, I even did one on how to use a used PCM to trick it into doing it. I think I've even done some as-built stuff. I've done restraint control module replacements on Fords. So search my channel. I've done videos on all of those. But on to the next one, guys. I got to get going. It's almost been 10 minutes. I don't have time. If I'm going to catch up with Keith today, I got to get going. DeFazio, that is. So, DeFazio, we'll see you tomorrow. The rest of you guys, we'll see you later. I'll do my best to do a Nissan with the launch. But anyways, see you guys later, and see you tomorrow, Keith, if I don't talk to you later today.